Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast, Helmet to Helmet. I'm Mason,
And this is Ian.
and we are here to talk to you about the second greatest football league in existence, the Alliance of American Football, which I'm sure everyone listening to this has obviously heard of.
Obviously, there's not a single person that hasn't.
So, if in case you haven't heard, the AAF made history this week. There were 4 new scoregamis, scores that have never been recorded in AAF history. Incredible.
Wow. A lot of records being broken, too, I hear.
Yes, incredible. This week, the AAF set its own most passing touchdowns in a game, most rushing touchdowns in a
Most
game,
kicks.
most rushing yards. It's been incredible. An incredible week of AAF football. Anyways, we're actually going to get right into it and talk about a couple of the league changes real fast, talk about some of the games, and then I'm going to give you my own power rankings after 1 week of existence. So what did you think about some of the new rules?
Well, as much as I love kickoffs, I do understand why they took them out of the game. And I do like the concept of them just starting on their own. It's just like, okay, no kickoffs, no extra points, forcing people to score more often and get into the end zone, which is really why people want to watch football. So I'm pro most of the rules, especially the hitting the quarterback.
Yeah, one of the biggest rule changes I noticed immediately was the 35-second play clock instead of a 40-second. It goes so much faster.
Those 5 seconds really cost some teams a few careless error on flags. So
In the Apollos and Legends game, I want to say there were 2 delay of games in the first 2 series, so the players are still getting used to it, but man, the pace of play goes so much quicker. And they got rid of a lot of commercials like the NFL would have. The games just flew by, and it was an incredible experience.
it was mostly fun, except if you're an Atlanta fan, I'm sorry, you have another failure of a team. I myself am included with that, and not fun to watch, but, you know.
Now, did you see the new onside kick rule?
Yeah, only in like the third quarter, or no,
So-
fourth quarter for 17. What is it?
So if you're down 17 points at any time in the game, or if you're trailing with under 5 minutes to go, you can attempt a 4th and 12 from your own 28, and if you get it, you recover the ball. So
Yeah, what?
can we call it an onside kick anymore? Because you're not even kicking.
Is it onside throw, onside run? What?
So one of the things that I've seen people start to call it in all of these subreddits is calling it a 12. Because you have to get 12 yards to get it, or a 12er, or a clutch, or something like that. So whatever you guys think we should name it, leave a comment below. Selfless plug.
Oh.
So let's get into some of the game action. Of course, the first game, well, 2 games went on at the same time, but we're going to get into the Apollos and the Legends.
Woo.
The Legends had Youngwei Koo put up 6 points, incredibly, first field goal in AAF history.
Mm-hmm.
And they also conceded 40 directly after that to lose 40-6. It was an ugly game.
Yeah, there's a reason why Matt Sims is not in the NFL.
I'm still a little upset about Matt Sims starting because Aaron Murray is my guy.
Yeah, I don't understand what the coaching decision was. They signed him and said, yeah, Aaron Murray's our guy. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we're actually starting Matt Sims. It's like, what?
And I didn't find out about this until 5 minutes before the game.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, no, starting quarterback Matt
Yeah.
Sims. I'm like, what?
I was like, who? I was like, you're really telling me that the guy who was the practice squad to Matt Ryan and was on the Jets before that is actually in... Oh, I did not like the decision at all.
Matt Sims is the worst of the 3 Sims quarterbacks to play, and that includes Chris Sims.
Oh, my gosh.
The guy that's not even good at reporting. Chris Sims. That one. The San Antonio Commanders beat the San Diego Fleet 15-6. That one was a close game throughout.
Yeah, these are just... The main thing I'm seeing from this league is the weird scores. And it's just like, you're not used to seeing those as football scores, so it almost catches your eye more. So maybe that's part of the reasoning, but...
That's one of the rules that we haven't talked about. There are no more extra points either. So literally the kicker only kicks field goals. No extra points, no kickoffs. You have to go for 2 every time you score, which is... It was interesting to watch. I didn't realize how many times you could convert a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, especially running the same play.
The only shutout across this week was the Birmingham Iron, who put up 26 points on the Memphis Express, who were unable to put up anything at all. Ugly game. And I thought the Iron defense looked good, but I thought the Memphis offense was worse.
Yeah, there's always going to be that one team that doesn't perform well out of a new league that's starting, and I think we found it.
Yeah. I think we noticed the most from this new league how bad the offensive line play is. And that's why it was really important. One of the rules is you can only rush 5 people on a given play. And that's really important because the Lions looked terrible. Even with these rushing rules, quarterbacks were being hit all day.
Yes.
There was pressure everywhere.
And I mean, thinking about it, you should be able to 5-on-5. You should be able to at least give your quarterback 3 to 6 seconds to maybe throw it or at least scramble. But no, just nothing.
The best game of the week, I think we can both agree. The Hot Shots take down the Stallions 38-22. Everywhere I looked before the league started, everyone said the Hot Shots were going to be the worst team in the league. Very, very bottom. Our own, Reinhardt's own, Javier Dyer actually plays for the Salt Lake City Stallions.
There we go.
Hey, Javi. Give us a retweet. They lost. So Arizona has kind of been a surprise for everyone in this league.
And Salt Lake also. I mean, that was the highest scoring game that this league has ever seen. Oh my gosh! But it was interesting to see more points and a more close game than all the others that happened.
I think we're going to start seeing more high-scoring games as the weeks go on and people get more comfortable with each other because the rules as they go on are more preferential to high-scoring offensive style of games.
I agree with that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, one thing that I was thinking of about this league is that if this is like the building league, the feeder league to the NFL, when are these when is the championship for this?
It's in May, I think is when it is.
So
April?
Is that kind of when some of these NFL teams are going to start putting together their 90-man roster and slowly making those cuts?
Right after the drafts, yeah, you'll start seeing people come. I mean, we already saw Josh Johnson go up to play for the Redskins.
It's just kind of like, are the teams that are going to win throughout all the season, are their best players going to be called up, and then that team's going to suck during that? That was just one of my thoughts that I just had here. Sorry.
That's a good point. You're going to have to watch that. It'll be I'm thinking it'll be a lot like MLS and EuroLeague. We just saw Almiron leave to go over to EuroLeague after this year for Atlanta United.
Goodbye, Mickey.
But yeah, if the AAF does start to become a little bigger, they're going to have to find a way to keep their talent. I think we can both agree the most atrocious thing about the AAF that happened this weekend were the referee uniforms.
Oh my! Yeah, I don't know what they were going for there.
For those of you who didn't see it, take a regular referee uniform and then make like a black triangle going from the collar down to like your sides.
Yeah, so make sure the waist is completely white.
Yeah, and then put stars in it.
Yeah, it didn't look right. I guess they just didn't really want to look like referees, but
I get you're trying to differentiate yourself and you do a bunch of rule changes. It looked so bad.
If anything, just do like the normal referee uniform, but make it neon. Like, who gives a crap?
Neon referees.
Yeah, they look like a flag. They can throw themselves onto the field.
Throw reflectors on there. Get it in people's eyes.
Yeah.
You've been kind of a douche talking to me. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
So I actually compiled a power rankings. I've thought long and hard about this after watching. I've considered the league history, everything that these teams have stood
coaching staff
for.
also.
Of course, the coaching staff. So here is my 2019 AAF power rankings after week 1. Number 1, the Orlando Apollos. Absolutely blew out the Legends, who are expected to be a middling team. Not awful, but not necessarily great. After that, number 2 is the Hot Shots. They looked incredible, and even though the game was close against Salt Lake, I think we can all agree that Arizona was in control through the majority of it. Number 3, the Iron. They got the shutout. Memphis looks really, really, really bad. That's why they're only at 3, even though they had a shutout. At 4, I have the Commanders. I keep wanting to say Commodores.
It's not quite the same, but
it's San Antonio though, so like Commodores at least makes sense, but it's the Commanders.
But it's Commanders.
The San Antonio Commanders are at number 4. They looked good against the Fleet, but neither offense really got off to much momentum. Number 5 is the Stallions. They're the only losing team to put up more than 6 points. After that is the Fleet. At least their defense held the Commanders in check. Number 7 is the Legends. Hey, we got blown out, but we put points on the board. Woo! And number 8 is the Express. Dear God, Memphis.
I agree with most of yours, except I would switch the Iron and the Stallions. But that's just because I don't think
Stallions.
I don't think Memphis is that good.
That's fair. So you would rather have someone who went 0-1 this week?
Yes, because it was
Just
a
because
mean.
Memphis is that bad.
I think Memphis is that bad.
They looked good. I mean, part of it was they still had a good defense.
They couldn't even kick a field goal when you can't even make it within 54 yards.
And part of that's just their bad offense, but part of it's good defense.
True.
So looking at next week, if you guys want to catch some of the action, TNT is hosting Salt Lake at Birmingham. So actually, we'll get to settle this debate about who should be higher, Salt Lake or the Iron.
For the week 2 rankings.
That'll be Saturday, February 16th at 2. Arizona will be at Memphis. Oh no. 8 p.m. on NFL Network. Orlando at San Antonio, and Atlanta and San Diego are on the next Sunday at 4 and 8 respectively on CBS and NFL Network. Ian, do you have anything else to say about this new expanding league?
No, I'm just really excited to see how many players can make themselves and go up or possibly make this a better NFL if that's the way that they can go.
I mean, if Trent Richardson can score 2 touchdowns, this will be a very interesting league.
Oh.
I'm Mason.
And this is Ian.
And this is Helmet to Helmet AAF edition.